It was raining again. Not the gentle kind, the kind that soaked the steel rooftops and made the old colony smell like rust in oil. Inside a small workshop at the edge of town, Elias Ward was rocking his baby girl, Mara, in one arm while his other hand held a wrench still slick with grease. The child wouldn't stop crying. He tried everything, the lullaby his wife used to hum, the soft blanket she'd made before she died in childbirth, even the holographic mobile she loved watching. Nothing worked. He was exhausted. The kind of exhaustion that burrowed deep into your soul and never left. Outside, thunder rolled over the hills. And then came a knock. 3 slow, deliberate knocks. At midnight. Elias frowned. No one ever came here this late, not since the war ended and the dragonkind were driven into hiding. He placed Mara in her crib beside the old heater, picked up the plasma torch for safety, and went to the door. When he opened it, the night air rushed in, cold, wet, and heavy. Standing in the doorway was a woman, or rather, something close to one. Her hood was soaked, and when she pulled it back, he saw faint scales glinting under her eyes, a dragonkin. Her golden-slit pupil eyes caught the light, sharp yet trembling with exhaustion. She looked young, maybe 20, though it was hard to tell with her kind. "Please," she said softly. "I'm looking for work." Elias just stared. Humans and dragonkin hadn't mixed since the siege of Indra, when her kind scorched entire human fleets in orbit. He'd fought in that war. His wife had died because of it. He should have slammed the door. But he didn't. "Instead," he said, "you picked the wrong house, dragon." She flinched at the word. "I know," she whispered. "But I was told you fix ships. I can help. Please." From behind him, Mara began to cry again, a thin, desperate wail that cut through the rain. The dragon woman's ears twitched. Her head turned slightly. "Is that a hatchling?" Elias's jaw tightened. "My daughter. Go away." She didn't move. Her voice broke slightly. "I know how to calm them." He hesitated. Something in her tone, not arrogance, not pity, something maternal, old, and instinctive. Without quite knowing why, he stepped aside. 5 minutes, he said. "You try anything, I'll burn a hole through your chest." She nodded silently and stepped in. The warmth hit her first, the smell of oil, metal, and baby powder. Mara was still crying in her crib, tiny hands reaching out for someone who wasn't there. The dragon woman approached slowly, kneeling beside the crib. Her claws retracted into smooth fingers. She began to hum a low, resonant sound, more vibration than melody. Elias froze. Within seconds, Mara's cry softened, then stopped. Her tiny hand reached up, touching the dragon woman's scaled cheek curiously. The baby smiled. The dragon woman smiled back, a small, fragile thing that seemed to surprise even her. Elias lowered his torch. "What was that?" "A draconic lull," she said softly. "It works on any youngling. Even yours." For a while, they said nothing. Elias poured her some tea, though he didn't know why, and sat across from her at the workbench. "Name?" he asked finally. "Kara. Daughter of Visser." He frowned. "The Visser? The warlord who burned Terran fields?" She looked down. "Yes. My father. He's dead now." Elias stared at her for a long time. He wanted to hate her, to remember the images of fire raining from the sky, his wife running through smoke holding a baby that wasn't breathing. But instead, he saw something else, a lost creature, shivering in the dark, just like him. "You want work," he said at last. "I fix engines. You clean tools." "That's it." She nodded. "Thank you." Days turned to weeks. Kara stayed, quietly repairing small things, polishing thruster parts, organizing the shelves, even making warm milk for Mara when Elias' hands were too full. At night, she slept in the corner of the workshop by the old generator, her wings curled tight around her body like a blanket. Sometimes, Elias would wake up to her singing softly to Mara in a language older than stars. He never said it aloud, but the house felt less empty after that. Still, whispers spread in the town below. The mechanic shelters a dragon. He's lost his mind. When he went for supplies, people turned their backs. But Elias didn't care. For the first time since his wife died, he wasn't alone. One evening, Kara found him sitting by the crib, staring at the baby with hollow eyes. "She has her eyes," he murmured. "My wife's. Every time she looks at me, I see her again, and it hurts." Kara knelt beside him. "Pain means you still remember," she said gently. "That's not weakness, Elias. It's love that survived." Her words hit something deep inside him, something buried beneath grief and guilt. He looked at her properly for the first time, not as a dragon, not as an enemy, but as someone who understood loss. He nodded once. "Thank you." She smiled faintly. "You would have done the same for me." But peace never lasts. That winter, the Terran enforcers arrived, human soldiers sent to hunt down surviving dragon kin. They came with scanners, drones, and orders. Elias was fixing a shuttle engine when he heard the metallic thud of boots outside. Kara's eyes went wide. "They're here." He grabbed her arm. "Go. Out the back." She shook her head. "They'll scan for heat. I can't hide." He thought fast, looking around, then at the old cargo pod in the corner. "Get in," he ordered. She hesitated. "Elias. Now." He sealed her inside just as the door burst open. 4 armored soldiers entered. Elias Ward, the commander, barked. "We've traced a draconic signature to this building. You will cooperate." Elias kept his face blank. "You think I'd keep a dragon here? Look around. Just me and my daughter." The commander's eyes swept the room. "We'll see." They scanned everything, walls, floor, even the baby's crib. One soldier lingered near the cargo pod, frowning at the readings. Elias's heart hammered. Then Mara began to cry. A sharp, loud, desperate cry. The soldier turned. "What's wrong with her?" Elias stepped forward quickly. "She's hungry. Been sick since the rain." The soldier grimaced and backed off. "Disgusting little thing." After a tense few minutes, they left. Elias waited until the ship engines faded before opening the pod. Kara stumbled out, gasping, tears in her eyes. "You risked your life for me." He looked at her. "You saved my daughters once. We're even." But she shook her head. "No, Elias. We're not." The next day, when Elias woke, Kara was gone. All that remained was a note on the table, written in careful human script. "They will come again. If they find me here, they will kill you and your child. I can't let that happen. Thank you for giving me a home." There was a single golden scale beside it, catching the morning light. He searched for weeks, scanning every settlement and flight beacon. No trace. Mara grew, learning to walk, learning to laugh again. But every night when the rain came, Elias would look to the hills, half expecting to see wings glinting under lightning. He never did. Until one night, 5 years later. The colony sirens blared as a transport ship crashed near the valley. Elias, now older, grabbed his toolkit and rushed out with the rescue crew. Through the smoke and fire, he saw a familiar figure limping out of the wreck, scales burned, wings torn, holding something close to her chest. "Kara," he whispered. She looked up, eyes full of exhaustion but relief. In her arms was a small dragon child, barely a year old. "I had nowhere else to go," she said weakly. "They're hunting my kind again. Please, help him." Before he could answer, she stumbled, falling to her knees. He caught her, feeling the faint tremor of her heartbeat. "Stay with me," he said. "Kara, stay with me." Her hand reached up, touching his face the way Mara once touched hers. "Elias, promise me, you'll protect them. Both of them. That's all I wanted." Then her hand fell still. When the rescue team found them, Elias was still holding her, her body covered in soot and rain. Beside him, Mara stood, silent and wide-eyed, holding the tiny dragon child in her arms. Years passed again. Mara grew into a young woman, bright and fearless, and always with a small dragon boy following her wherever she went. Elias raised them both. He fixed ships by day and told stories by night, stories of a dragon woman who came in the rain and saved a crying baby. He never remarried. He never left. And sometimes, on stormy nights, Mara would swear she saw a shadow above the clouds, a dragon's silhouette watching from the stars. When she asked her father about it, Elias would just smile sadly and say, "Maybe she just wanted to make sure we were all right."